Hey everybody, welcome to another Photoshop CS6 tutorial. Today we're going to be working with clipping paths. And what a clipping path is it adds transparency without deleting the background. So it allows you to isolate part of an image and make everything else transparent when the image is printed or placed in another application like Illustrator or something like that. So you don't have to, it's not necessary to delete any of the image when you're creating the clipping path, so which is nice. So let's go ahead and learn how to create a clipping path. So what I did is I just made a path around this circle here. So if I turn this off, oh, it looks like it froze. Hold on a second. Actually, it didn't freeze. I just had to change it to from a background to a layer. So you can see my clipping path that I've made, just a circle. We're gonna go ahead and make your own clipping path. Then we're gonna go into paths, and then we're going to double click on our new work path button down here. So let me make sure this is selected. All right. We're gonna want to click on our new work path. Alright, name it, and I'm just going to name mine circle. Hit OK. And then we're going to go into the path options here. And we're going to select clipping path. And now we've got some new options going on here. We're going to enter a flatness value. You can go from 0.2 to a 100. Or you can leave it blank, and that will use the printer's default settings, and that's usually recommended. So a little bit about the flatness there. So for high resolution printing, such as 1200 DPI and up, you're gonna use 8 to 10, and for low resolution printing, so something like 300 to 600 or something like that, use 1 to 3, and then you can gauge in the middle. You can use the other things in the middle. So that's like a little guide for you, a rough guide. So I'm just gonna hit OK. I'm not gonna enter anything in there. And now we have a clipping path. So if you're going to use this clipping path to print, then we're gonna need to change it to CMYK color. So you would do that in the mode up here and change that to CMYK. And let's just do that. We'll go ahead and do that. So now it's in CMYK. If we go on our channels, you can tell that. And now we're going to have to save this as a format that we can use to export to something like Adobe Illustrator or InDesign or something like that. So if you're gonna send it to Illustrator, let's go to save it as an EPS. So go File, Save As, and then we can find EPS right here, Photoshop EPS. It's this one, and this is what you'll save it as. And we'll just save it like that. We'll go name it Circle Moon or something like that, and I'll save it. And now we've got this. We've got our preview here, 1-bit. We got our encoding. So you don't have to really worry about this too much. But if you're gonna go for a TIFF, you want to set the image compression to none, and EPS, you want to set the preview to. If you're saving it as an EPS, you're gonna save it as 8 bits right here. So if you're exporting and you want to export to Illustrator, you want to use EPS. If you're going to save and export it into InDesign, you're going to want to use a TIFF. So I'll go over that in a second. So I'm just going to hit OK. Then let's go to File, Save As again, and pretend we're going to save this for InDesign. We will come down to TIFF here at the bottom, and Circle InDesign, and now we got this. And this is where I was talking about image compression. You want to leave it at none, and everything else is fine. Just hit OK. Yep, that's fine. Hit OK, and that would be good for importing into InDesign. So let's go ahead and we can import this into Illustrator. So I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna load up Illustrator really quick, and then I'll show you what it means when I'm gonna import this in. So now I have InDesign open, Illustrator. I have Illustrator open, and this is CS6, so it goes right along with Photoshop CS6. Let's go to open up our file that we made. Go to File, Open, and then I'm going to scroll down and find it. And here it is, the EPS, Open. And now you can see how this imported. I've got just what was in my clipping mask, and here's my path. You can see this blue liner on the outside is my path. This little box here, that's the canvas. That's kind of like your square here in Photoshop. But basically, what it has done is cut out everything outside of the clipping mask and left inside the color. And you didn't even have to delete anything in Photoshop or anything like that. So that's why you want to use clipping masks. So that's it for clipping masks and what I wanted to show you this time, and we'll go over more about this kind of stuff in some upcoming tutorials. So thank you for watching this one, and have a good one, everybody.